Hey, you're back. Okay, let's talk for just a real quick minute. Let's wrap this all up about what the long-term impacts of the Protestant Reformation were. The first is that the monopoly of the Catholic Church in Western Europe is broken by the Reformation. No longer is the church still has a lot of impact in countries that remain majority Catholic. Even to this day, the church is a powerful force in places like Italy and Poland and Ireland, but its monopoly over all of Western civilization is broken. There's a great diversification of Christianity. Open up a phone. They don't have phone books anymore. I am so old. Do a Google search for Davenport, Florida church, and you're going to get dozens of responses, dozens of different varieties of Christianity. In fact, it's estimated that worldwide, there are more than 20,000 different sects, S-E-C-T-S, groups of Christians. That's a direct impact of the Reformation. There's an increased emphasis on the individual and an increased value on free individual self-expression because of the belief that every individual can interpret the Bible for himself. I've got an asterisk by this one because that is a later long-term impact. For all the language the reformers used of every individual can interpret the Bible for himself, they usually meant everybody is free to interpret the Bible the same way I do for himself. And if you interpret the Bible for yourself differently than I do, then for the first several decades of the Reformation, you become the enemy because it's assumed that the Holy Spirit is guiding me to interpret it correctly. So if you're interpreting it different, you're rejecting the Holy Spirit, or you're being guided by a whole different spirit altogether. So lots and lots and lots more killing. This is a movement written in fire and blood for sure. There's an increased identity with and power of the nation state. Now that the single unifying element of medieval society, the church, is fractured, I am now more and more likely to identify as an Englishman or a Frenchman or a Pole or an Italian or a German. German is actually smaller nation states at the time, but you get what I am saying, I hope. Do you know what I am saying? Because the movement is born in protest, that's why it's called the Protestant movement, this also increases the importance of protest as a legitimate means to pursue justice. That's hugely important to this day in our society. When we feel that people are being oppressed, excluded, that injustice is being done, we frequently turn to protest, and protest movements have often been the catalyst for great and important change in society. And another long-term effect of the Reformation, this one has an asterisk too, because it takes a century and a half, but ultimately, all the killing, all the war, all the burning, all the hanging, all the beheading, our civilization, these guys are trying to just make church better, and it's lit an entire continent on fire. And eventually it becomes so exhausting, and the Europeans realize we are in danger of exterminating ourselves. And so that's what is going to finally motivate people to seek alternatives to violence, peaceful solutions. It finally occurs to people that perhaps I can disagree with you. I got a few people in the classroom, you can't see them. Perhaps they can disagree with me and not have to kill me. Perhaps there's a different way to address problems than widespread slaughter. And we'll see what that looks like and what those alternatives are next time.
Around a lot of it, trying to make the pieces fit to a puzzle with a million missing pieces. When I'm feeling fine is when I discover that I'm afraid to blow my cover, and there's something very wrong with this. So sit back in your hole, or get back in your cave. If I'm going down, I'm taking someone with me.